Sorry, this table's for family only, my brother smirked, pointing toward a fold-out chair by the trash can. Everyone laughed as I sat alone. Then the bill arrived, $3,200. The waiter looked at me. I just smiled and said, not my table. My parents died 2 years ago and left their lake house to me and my 3 siblings. It was supposed to be split equally between all 4 of us. My brother Drew had just gotten out of rehab for the 3rd time and suddenly started acting like he was the head of the family or something. He kept sending these long group texts about how we needed to stay connected and honor Mom and Dad's legacy, which was weird because he didn't even show up to Dad's funeral. Anyway, Drew decides he's gonna plan the annual family reunion at the lake house. This thing used to be small, just burgers and potato salad, everyone bringing something. But Drew went all out this year. He sent a whole email about the date and dress code and everything. Except I never got that email. When I asked him about it in the group chat, he said it must have bounced and that he totally sent it. My sister backed him up real quick. I showed up anyway because legally I still own a quarter of that house. I brought a gift basket with some wine and fancy crackers. Nothing crazy. When I walked in, everyone was already seated at this long table on the deck overlooking the water. There were like 20 people there. Aunts, uncles, cousins I hadn't seen in years. The whole setup looked expensive. There were flowers everywhere, waiters walking around with trays, a full seafood bar with shrimp and crab legs. I'm talking lobster tails. My parents used to grill hot dogs at these things. Drew saw me walk in, and his face did this thing where he tried to smile, but it looked more like he just smelled something bad. He walked over and got real close and quiet. He said the seating was already done and there wasn't room at the main table. I looked at the table. There were 2 empty chairs. He saw me looking and said those were being saved. Then he pointed to this sad little fold-out chair shoved in the corner by the trash cans. Like, actually, next to the garbage. He said I could sit there if I wanted to stay. My cousin Brent laughed. Then my Aunt Diane laughed. Then everyone kind of laughed because no one wanted to make it awkward by not laughing. Drew patted my shoulder and said, sorry, this table's for family only. Like I wasn't family. Like I didn't grow up in that house. I didn't argue. I just walked over and sat in the fold-out chair. It wobbled every time I moved. I could hear everything they were saying at the main table. Drew kept talking loud about how he paid for everything and how he wanted this to be a new tradition. He kept saying we like he spoke for everyone. My sister kept agreeing with him. I just sat there eating shrimp cocktail off a paper plate while they ate off real china. But here's the thing. I grew up broke. Like really broke. I built my own accounting firm from nothing, and I know how to read a bill better than anyone in that family. I also checked my email before I came and confirmed that my name is still on the deed to that house. All 4 of our names are. Drew didn't own it solo. He just acted like he did, so I watched. I counted the waiters. I saw the open bar. I saw them uncork the 4th bottle of wine that definitely wasn't from Costco. I did math in my head the whole night. Catering for 20 people, seafood, full bar, flowers, rentals. This wasn't a $200 cookout. This was thousands. At the end of the night, one of the waiters rolled over a cart with a leather binder on it, the kind restaurants use for big bills. Drew saw it and got this big grin on his face. He pointed at me and said, just give it to Mason. He's got it. A bunch of people laughed again. The waiter looked confused. He opened the binder and checked the reservation sheet inside. Then he looked at Drew and said, it's actually under Drew Mathers. Total is $3,200. The whole table went silent. Drew's face went from tan to gray in like 2 seconds. He stuttered something about how I said I'd take care of it, which I never said. I never said anything. I was sitting by the trash the whole time. I stood up, finished my drink, looked right at him and said, not my table. Then I walked to my car. I heard him yelling my name as I drove off, but I didn't stop. When I got home, I pulled the deed from my file cabinet. Then I called a lawyer. Turns out when you co-own property, you can't just throw expensive parties and stick other people with the bill. You also can't lock out other owners or exclude them from using the property. Within a week, I filed for a formal ownership review and requested all expenses related to the property be split equally per the legal agreement. I also had the locks changed.